Seems like it's going to be a major twist as far as India's next T20I captain is concerned, because with Gautam Gambhir now taking charge, Hardik Pandya's expected appointment as India's new T20I captain has seen a major twist, with Gambhir and Ajit Agarkar advocating for a different choice. While it looked like a formality that Hardik would replace Rohit Sharma as India's new T20I captain, reports suggest that Ajit Agarkar and Gautam Gambhir are pushing for Suryakumar Yadav to be the captain. Hardik, remember, has been the white ball team's vice captain for more than a year and led the T20I team for extended periods when Rohit Sharma was absent post the 2020 World Cup. So that is essentially the twist to the captaincy saga is what we're picking up at the moment. For many of us, probably including me, we did think that it was going to be a smooth transition from Rohit Sharma passing that baton to Hardik Pandya, but it seems like that might not essentially be happening. Now remember, this is not official. This is what reports are indicating. It's also very interesting to see because Suryakumar Yadav has had some sort of a special equation with Gautam Gambhir as well. This is way back when he used to play for Kolkata Knight Riders in the IPL. Remember, he was the vice captain for that particular franchise. Gautam Gambhir was the one who really believed in the leadership abilities of Suryakumar Yadav. This is all, of course, reports indicating this. Is that really the case? We will know when one of my colleagues will join us on the broadcast to share with us more perspective. I do understand Gaurav Gupta, Senior Assistant Editor, Times of India Sports, joins me this morning. Gaurav, great to have you back once again on the show to share with us your insights as to what you make of this. Seems like it was going to be all smooth, but a little bit of a twist and a tail always has to happen when we talk about captaincy. This is, of course, not official yet. Sources indicating that the BCCI still wants Hardik Pandya. That's probably not the same combination that a Gambhir and Agarkar would be looking at, beg your pardon. What are your sources indicating? How do you read into this?
Good morning to you and all our viewers. I think this twist has essentially happened. This has been going on for a while, But the selectors, I don't think, have been too happy with Hardik's captaincy and his injury-prone, career of late. I mean, last few years. And I think they fear that going forward, if you appoint Hardik as the captain, and supposing close to the World Cup, the next T20 World Cup in 26, he gets injured and he's out for a few months, then again they would have to go back to Surya as the captain. So I think they want to sort of keep that continuity going and start with Surya and give him that confidence that you are the captain, because see, Surya's place in the team is guaranteed. He's the numero uno T20 batsman in the world. I think right now he's ranked number 2. So the selectors want to give him that confidence that you're the captain of the side and the sort of clarity that you're the leader of this team and you're going to take us forward and lead us in the next World Cup. Surya is not getting any younger. Possibly 1 or 2 World Cups at max is what he's going to play. So I think they want to give him that clarity. And with Hardik, I think the selectors have lost a bit of confidence in him, purely in his ability to play consistently and not be injured. I think that is where the doubts about him are, because Hardik, if you see Hardik, since he's regained fitness, he's played all the matches in the IPL for the Mumbai Indians, captaining the Mumbai Indians, and then he was also a hero of India in the T20 World Cup, wherein he played all the matches, performed excellently. If you see, in fact, pure performance-wise, then Hardik's performance was critical to our victory. Surya also did well, took an amazing catch, scored a few runs, but it was Hardik, I thought, who played a more bigger role in the win. And going forward, Hardik has had India captaincy experience. So maybe also the fact that Hardik did not have a good campaign as a captain with MI, and there were issues that the senior players had with him. So maybe Surya is more of an amiable option who's going to take the entire team along. That could be one factor that in terms of leadership qualities, taking the seniors along, and making the team forge and I'm sure they will also take the input of the previous captain, the T20 India captain Rohit Sharma. And I have a feeling that Rohit would have pitched for Surya as the captain rather than Hardik, purely because of the fact that he's likely to take everybody along.
It's a very interesting point that you do infer, Gaurav, considering the fact that we did see how it was kind of a disaster when he was leading the Mumbai Indians franchise. But having said that, this is also very interesting considering you said inputs will be taken from someone that they would have previously worked with. And Gambhir has that association with Suryakumar Yadav because we do understand that there was a little bit of more faith in terms of leadership ability, since we're talking about that to be leading with the Kolkata Knight Riders franchise. In fact, he was the vice captain back then when Gautam Gambhir was very involved in the particular team. Do you think that would be one of the other factors? Because we're given to understand he was the one who really saw that leadership abilities and faith in Suryakumar Yadav.
Well, absolutely. And Gambhir saw these qualities in him at a time when, let's face it, Surya was facing a tough time with his captaincy in the Mumbai team. He was the Bombay captain and he was going through a very tough phase, wherein he was eventually, he had to quit as the captain because the senior players were not happy with his attitude. And, and that season Bombay was struggling. And then Aditya Tare took over and Bombay eventually went on to, they reached the semi-finals. I think it was the 13-14 season. And after that, Surya never captained Bombay again, except for the odd tournament. So Surya had his issues, but then it was at that point that KK, Gautam made him the KKR vice captain. Played a big role in that, which was surprising at that point. To me and to everybody that how can he be the KKR vice captain when he's facing such massive leadership issues in Mumbai. But Surya has sort of come a long way from those days. He captained India in a few T20s recently. He did well. The team did well under him, and I think the team gelled well under him. And I think he does have captaincy aspirations. And I would not be surprised if he has captaincy aspirations for with even the Mumbai Indians for next season. And that could be a crucial factor, is what my sources tell me. In his decision to be retained by the Mumbai Indians or to move to another franchisee. So it will all be very interesting. The interesting thing is that all the guys in this drama are all from the Mumbai Indians, where Hardik is the captain. Hardik, Rohit, and Surya. But I think this passing of the baton from Rohit to Surya will be a much more smoother exercise, is what the selectors feel. Purely because of the injury, as I said, the injury issues that Hardik faces sometimes, which can be take a long time to overcome, and as well as issues around leadership. Taking the boys along and sort of taking the team along. That is where perhaps Surya scores over Hardik. So, but again, this will be interesting. These are all speculations. We could still end up with Hardik as the captain.
Of course, right. Right, these are all sources indicating that this is what could transpire. But Gaurav, what's very interesting here is that what we're given to understand with one, of course, sort of think tank process that now Gautam Gambhir will be ultimately the guru who's taking these particular calls. But the BCCI will also be looking at a very different thing. Look what happened even with Kohli's captaincy, with the way that had panned out when, Ganguly wanted some sort of, the insider thing, the way that it really panned out later on, of course. Drawing perspective over that, do you think that is something that we'll essentially just see in the Indian cricket team, also considering the fact that there are many very interesting choices also. So you're spoiled for choices in a way as well.
See, these captaincy issues, they come up in other countries as well. If a few years back in New Zealand cricket, there was an issue about who would be leading, whether it would be Kane Williamson or Ross Taylor. And I think Ross Taylor led New Zealand for a while, and then Kane was given the captaincy for a long, long time. Now Kane has sort of semi-retired. He's, I think, almost quit T20s. So there's now a search for a new captain. They gave the captaincy to Tim Saudi for a while. In Pakistan, we have seen that Babar Azam has been the captain for all the three formats, and then he was the captain in the recently held T20 World Cup. But fans and even I think a lot of people in the system are not happy with Babar purely because he himself is not exactly a great T20 batsman. So you have in Australia, in fact, Mitch Marsh captains the T20 side and not Pat Cummins, which is, I think, a very wise decision because they're grooming another leader going forward. I think the whole idea of giving the T20 captaincy to these captaincy issues is that you should have a captain who takes the team along and who's sort of a popular face and popular guy, something which Rohit was. And the boys could all relate to him. They could all confide in him, and perhaps those are the qualities that are being looked at. And I think Hardik is also somebody who's who's pretty. I mean, from what I saw at MI, the foreign players were very comfortable with him, but then the Indian players perhaps were not so, sort of cozy to him, and they were not performing at their best under him. They could not, rather, I would say. So maybe those factors are being taken into account. Hardik is an excellent player, but perhaps the selectors feel that he's better off without the captaincy pressure and without the whole issues that come up around him when he becomes the captain, left alone as a somebody who's an excellent player, something that I think the Indian selectors realized in the 80s with Kapil Dev, that is better off producing his best as a player rather than taking the pressure of captaincy. And maybe Suryakumar Yadav is somebody who's they have seen those qualities, as Gautam Gambhir would have seen those qualities in him for a long time. And I'm sure Gautam is somebody who's been associated with franchise cricket also for a long time now. 2 years with LSG, 1 year with KKR, so he knows what the requirements would be of leading a T20 side, and a lot of patience is needed. A lot of issues could be there. There could be times when players play bad shots, or they bowl poor deliveries, they bowl a no ball at the wrong time, and you need to be very patient with them. I think this is where the qualities that the selectors are also, and at the same time crack a whip when it's necessary. And it's also about ease of working. I think Gautam, because of his KKR background, having captain KKR with Surya having played under him at that point, feels more comfortable with Surya around as the captain rather than Hardik. I think those issues could be the decisive factors, and I think Adit Agarkar is also very wise when it comes to these things, and they would go for somebody who they see as long, at least captaining India peacefully till the 26th World Cup, and then maybe the hunt could be the baton could be passed on to a Shubman Gill or Yashasvi Jaiswal on a permanent basis. I mean, I don't know who the next T20 captain could be. Could be Sanju Samson, or could be
And then Gaurav,
anybody
probably
else.
at that point we'll once again get talking about who those choices will be. So like we say, this happens, and like you said, this has also happened in other countries too as far as captaincy, because considering the fact that this is very big shoes to fill in, you're leading under pressure as well, and like you rightly pointed out, sometimes it is you're looking at an opportunity where they can outperform as an individual player. Look what happened with Ravindra Jadeja when he was given the CSK captaincy. His not just the captaincy faltered, but also his individual performance. But having said that, you did speak about on multiple levels as to getting along with the team. Is there a little bit of a scoop, insider scoop that you have that you would want to share, considering it seems like maybe that attitude of Suryakumar Yadav might also help him to be getting this? Of course, this is again sources indicating as far as Hardik's approach as captain, because we've seen a lot of criticism when he did in specific captain for Mumbai Indians, which of course then did not go down too well. He came back and gave us that amazing performance as an individual player in the World Cup. But having said that, we know how he was received as a captain for the franchise.
Well, the fact that he was received not too excitedly by the Mumbai Indians senior players in their camp when this IPL season began also does not reflect well on those senior players, I would say. And perhaps it's not entirely. I mean, why should Hardik be faulted for the fact that he was made the captain? It was the owners who could have perhaps handled things better and made the transition smoother. So I would also sort of I don't think the players who sort of if they did not perform at their best under him, or they were not unhappy under him, then I think the players also need to be faulted for that. But somewhere I think overall Hardik's personality and his leadership qualities, the selectors would have seen them from close quarters in the past couple of years, because remember that at one point Hardik was given the captaincy, the India captaincy, I think January last year, and then he was the T20 captain for a long time, and I don't think the selectors have been too pleased, particularly with the fact that the way he got injured in the World Cup and then was out for a long time. So there were issues there that at least I know also about, and I think with Surya things have been, his career has been just going up and up and up. Somebody who's just been smashing the bowlers around. No attack is sort of too good for him in the T20 format. He's actually a fearsome batsman. And I only hope that if he's given this captaincy, and I think this is the right stage for him to be told that, you are our next T20 captain, rather than doing it on a series by series basis and playing a sort of a, passing the parcel between him and Hardik. The most sensible thing would be to go for Surya as the as the permanent captain going forward. And also Surya is, but I only hope that Surya's natural game is not affected once this happens. Once he gets the captaincy on a permanent basis, and he sort of is able to blast off and play those kind of knocks that we know that he can play. You know.
Right, Gaurav. In fact, thank you very much for taking the time out, joining us with all those interesting insights. But like we have reiterated, the both of us, in fact, these are sources that are suggesting the same. How would this transition happen? Would it be smooth or not? Of course, only time is going to tell. But once again, thank you very much for joining us here on the Morning News. Having